Hello there, this is Yogi, and today we want to start a new series of videos about how to deepen a practice of coaching. These are some of the things I talk to people when I start coaching with them, and I'm just starting a group coaching program, and these things came up in our first meeting together. And one of the first things we talk about is that our coaching works on agreements. We don't have expectation from each other, but we set up agreements that help each other show up powerfully and show up in a way that is agreed upon by everybody. And one of the agreements is be authentic. Be authentic, be honest, be vulnerable. Show up authentically in our coaching calls. And one of the important things to realize in being authentic is that we are never truly always authentic. Inauthenticities are part of human nature. The best thing we can do is to come back to being authentic as soon as we realize we are being inauthentic. That's what is called being authentic about our inauthenticities. So here is a diagram that I drew in the call today. So this is how much inauthentic we are being, and this is over time. We are authentic, we are not being inauthentic. So inauthenticity is zero. And once in a while, we start to become inauthentic. We say something that we don't really mean. We just say because it's socially conditioned response, so we are not authentic there. And whenever we realize, oh, we are being inauthentic, either we can keep going and layer another lie on top of the first lie and the third on top of second and so on, which is also habitual because we want to save our face. And when we realize we want to be authentic again, we become authentic about an inauthenticity, come clean and become authentic again. And the idea is to minimize this area that we rise, either minimize how inauthentic we are, the amplitude of this, or minimize how long we are being inauthentic for. And we minimize both of them. That's the best people can do, I believe. Now, somebody asked me, once we start to realize that we are being inauthentic, how do you become authentic again? Because it's can be embarrassing that people got to know that you were inauthentic, you lied a little bit, or you didn't tell the truth. And this is where there were 3 points we came up with today about how to become authentic once you realize you're being inauthentic. First one is mindfulness. Mindfulness is helps you realize you become inauthentic. Now, the 1 second. Now, the body knows that something is off. When we say something that is not true, we don't really believe in, we go through a certain emotional response internally. Most of the time, we suppress it. But if we listen to the body, then we realize we're being inauthentic. So it's a really good idea to listen to your body, and that I usually do it through being mindful, being still some part of the day. I'm sitting by myself and being still, not letting any input or stimulus come in. That's meditation for me. But there are multiple ways to actually be mindful. So be mindful to even realize that we are being inauthentic. Otherwise, we can go on for a while, keep layering things on top of one another and not even realize we are just we are wearing off course our values. The second way, once we become mindful and realize how we are being inauthentic, is to just say it the way it is. Say it the way it is. And that can be very hard at times. If we have been inauthentic for a while, it becomes harder and harder and harder to come clean. But in the beginning, when we say something, if somebody asks me, what are you really thinking? And if I'm really thinking, oh, this meeting is boring, if it's just a simple thing, I can say it. But if it's a bigger thing and I've been lying about this, or I'm not lying per se, but I've been inauthentic about it, it's hard to come clean right away. So saying it the way it is a really good strategy. It's just that sometimes it's very uncomfortable, very, very disconcerting. And that's where the third strategy comes in. This is about, if you don't really want to say right away, the third strategy is to really have a specific plan. How do you want to come clean? It is about doing some self work, self cultivation work about how do you plan to be authentic again. Have specific timelines. Okay, in 3 days or 4 days or 1 week or 2 weeks, I will do X, Y, Z. One thing that really helps is to journal about it, at least be authentic to yourself. A lot of times we start to feel guilty and start to feel uh, really unsettled once we realize that we are not being true to our values. So start to journal about it and not kick yourself for it, but accepting that this is how it is, and start to write what's going on really in your thoughts, in your emotions, and how this inauthenticity has developed over time. Second thing that really helps is to talk to people one on one. It's harder to come clean or be authentic about your inauthenticity in a group, so talk to people one on one. And usually that's a more trusting environment, and that really helps. And the third thing is discuss with people who can support you in this journey, friends, colleagues that you trust. It could be a mentor, could be a coach, could be therapist, could be anybody who can help you process your emotions, process your thought processes. Just realize that I wish I were authentic, that's not enough. You want to have a specific timeline and actually work on a day-to-day, daily basis to untangle the spaghetti you might have found yourself in. So, three specific strategies. Once you start to become inauthentic, how to come back to authenticity. How to come back to authenticity is number one, start to practice mindfulness. That's always to even become aware of the inauthenticity. Mindfulness is very helpful. Second is say the way it is right away. It's like pulling off the bandage quickly. And the third is to actually have a specific timeline, do your self cultivation work, actually be present to yourself through journaling, through talking to people, um, get some intelligent reflection from people, and how to actually you plan to do it. And if you want any support with this, reach out to people you trust. I'm happy to help in such things, and feel free to reach out to me also. But this really develops your self trust in yourself once you start to become authentic, and also authentic about your inauthenticity. And you start to get a lot out of interactions with people, through coaching, through mentoring, through even therapy. I've done a lot of therapy over years, and in the beginning I used to be just not really purely authentic, and you don't get as much out of therapy. So most interactions you get more if you become authentic, and authentic about your inauthenticities. Thank you for your attention, and all the best being authentic. And be authentic one day, one truth at a time.